Welcome to this channel. This is a quiet space where science stories are told slowly and gently. Here, the universe is observed without urgency, light moves patiently through space, and natural processes unfold at an even pace. The darkness does not arrive suddenly. It opens slowly. Not as a wall, not as a closing door. It opens like a wide space with no edges and no center. In this space, light is scattered, small points, far apart, each one steady. They do not flash, they do not call for attention, they simply remain. These points of light are stars, very distant, very old, yet calm. Between them, there is a vast stretch of nothing, not empty nothing, but quiet nothing. A place without sound, without movement that can be felt, without direction. Light moves through this space, not quickly, not slowly, just steadily. It leaves one star and continues forward without turning back. Light does not remember where it came from. It does not decide where it will go. It simply continues. This is how the universe behaves. Not with urgency, not with hesitation, only continuation. If you could observe this space for a long time, you would notice something gentle. Nothing is trying to be important. Stars shine because that is their nature. Darkness exists because there is room for it. Neither one competes. In this wide darkness, there is no up or down, no front or back, only distance. Some stars appear brighter than others, not because they are greater, but because they are closer. Some appear faint. Their light has traveled longer. It has crossed more space, yet it arrives all the same. Light does not rush to arrive. It arrives when it arrives. The universe allows this patience. Across the darkness, a thin band of light stretches quietly. Many stars together, too close to separate by sight. Their glow blends into a soft line. It does not form a message. It does not point. It simply exists as a gentle structure within a larger calm. Dust moves. Here, very small pieces, almost nothing. They drift. They do not collide. They do not gather with purpose. Sometimes light touches the dust. It scatters. It softens. The result is not brightness, but smoothness. Edges disappear. If this scene were to continue for a long time, nothing dramatic would happen. No sudden changes, no events that demand reaction, only slow motion, only presence. Stars continue to shine, light continues to move, space continues to open. This is not a story of action, it is a story of existence. Far from this quiet view, within one small region of space, matter gathers slightly more than elsewhere. Not suddenly, not forcefully, just a little closer. Gas and dust begin to share the same place for a longer time. Warmth appears, not heat, only warmth. This warmth does not push outward, it settles. Over long stretches of time, the warmth grows. Pressure builds gently, so gently it cannot be noticed from outside. Then, without sound, without announcement, a faint glow appears. Not bright, not sharp. A presence. A star begins. This beginning is not dramatic. There is no signal. The light simply exists. It remains surrounded by its cloud, softly held. Nothing escapes quickly. Everything stays. This is how creation often happens in the universe. Not as an event, but as a continuation. Around this new light, tiny particles move in curved paths. They do not hurry. They repeat the same motion again and again. These motions do not create tension. They create rhythm. Rhythm exists everywhere in space, in the turning of stars, in the slow travel of light, in the movement of dust. Rhythm does not require attention. It only requires time. Atoms float here, very small units of matter. They are simple, They combine, they separate. Nothing is lost. Atoms that exist here have existed elsewhere. They will exist again in another place. The universe does not discard, it rearranges. Light continues outward. The cloud thins. The star becomes clearer, still gentle, still steady. Far away, the darkness remains unchanged. Stars continue their quiet presence. The wide space remains open. Nothing closes, nothing concludes. The scene holds, and it continues to hold. The wide darkness remains open. Stars are still scattered across it, far apart, steady, quiet. Between them, space stretches on. In this space, light travels, not as a beam you can hold, not as a line you can touch, but as a gentle movement that never stops. A star releases light the way warm metal releases heat, the way a lamp fills a room. The light leaves the star and moves outward in every direction. It does not choose a path. It does not search. It simply spreads. As it spreads, it crosses distance. Distance without landmarks. Distance without sound. If you could stand in that space, you would not hear light arrive. You would only see it or not see it, depending on where you are. Light can pass by without anyone noticing. It does not demand attention. It continues either way. In many places, the space between stars is very clean. Almost nothing floats there, but not everywhere. There are regions with dust. Not dust like on a shelf, not dust that falls in a room, but dust made of tiny grains that drift in the cold. These grains can be made of simple things: carbon, silicates, frozen bits of water or other molecules, small pieces, so small they behave like a thin mist. Light passes through this mist, and when it does, something gentle happens. The light scatters. A sharp point becomes softer. A clear edge becomes blurred. If a distant star shines through dust, its light can look calmer, like a lamp behind a thin curtain. The dust does not block the light completely. It shapes it. In the universe, many things do not stop light. They guide it. They soften it. They bend it slightly. Even space itself can affect light. Mass in space, a star, a cluster of stars, can curve space a little. And light follows that curve, not as a choice, but as a natural path. This is not a dramatic turn. It is a slow, quiet bending, like a long river flowing around a smooth stone. The river does not struggle. It does not argue. It simply goes around. So light can be seen in places where you might not expect it. A star can hide behind another object and still be hinted at through a faint change in brightness, through a soft ring, through a gentle glow. The universe does not need straight lines to remain stable. It holds many curves, many slow arcs, many quiet shapes. Far from any single star, there is a view that humans know well. A pale band across the sky, made from countless stars. This is the Milky Way. It is not a wall of light. It is not a solid road. It is a soft layer, a wide stripe, a gentle field of brightness. When many stars gather in one part of the sky, their light blends. Eyes cannot separate them. So the light becomes a smooth haze. There are darker patches within this band. Those patches are not empty. They are places where dust is thicker, where the haze is softened even more, where light is hidden behind thin veils. The result is not harsh. It is patterned, like a fabric with folds, like a blanket with darker threads. If you watch the Milky Way for a long time, it does not change quickly. It holds steady. Its structure is large and its movement is slow. The Milky Way is a galaxy. A galaxy is a huge collection of stars, dust, gas, and space. Not packed tightly, not crowded like a city, more like a wide countryside with many lights very far apart. Yet together, they form a shape, Many galaxies, including this one, have a spiral structure, a gentle swirl, not a spinning fan, not a fast whirlpool, a slow turning, like a soft spiral drawn in smoke. Inside a spiral galaxy, stars move in long orbits. They travel around the center. The center is not a bright stage. It is simply a region with more matter, more stars, more density. That density pulls, and the stars respond quietly over long spans of time. The orbit of a star is not a tight circle. It can be wide, it can be stretched, but it is steady. The galaxy is not rushing. It turns at a pace that makes quick thoughts feel unnecessary. This turning does not require watching. It happens whether or not anyone looks. Light continues outward from each star. Some light travels into open space and never meets anything. It can go on and on and on. Some light meets dust and softens. Some meets gas and makes it glow. Gas in space can shine in a gentle way when it is touched by energy. It can glow faintly, like a small cloud with a hidden lamp. This is why some parts of space look like soft curtains of color in telescope images. But even without those colors, the idea remains simple. Energy touches matter, and matter responds. Nothing needs to be forced. A region of gas can remain quiet for a long time. Then, slowly, it can gather. Gravity is gentle at first. In everyday life, gravity feels strong. It holds bodies to the ground. But in space, where things are spread out, gravity often works slowly. It pulls in a calm way. Gas drifts closer. Dust follows. A cloud becomes slightly denser, slightly warmer. And then, over time, a new light appears. Stars are born in these clouds, not as a sudden event, but as a long process that becomes visible at the end. This process can happen in many places at once. A cloud can form several stars. A region can become a nursery of faint lights. From far away, it may look like a soft cluster. From closer, it is a field of small beginnings. Around young stars, dust can form disks, flat, wide rings of material. Not solid, not sharp. A slow swirl of particles. Within these disks, grains can touch. They can stick. They can form small lumps. Over time, lumps can become larger. This is one way planets can form. Not quickly. Not dramatically. By small additions. By gentle sticking. By repeated contact. The universe often builds by repetition. A small change, then another, then another. No need for a single moment to carry the whole story. Some planets become rocky. Some become large and gaseous. Some remain as smaller bodies, not fully formed, still orbiting quietly. But this chapter does not follow planets closely. It stays with light. Because light is the most patient traveler. Light does not get tired. It does not slow down from effort. It simply moves according to what space allows. In open space, it goes straight. Near mass, it curves. Through dust, it scatters. Through gas, it can be absorbed and re-released. In each case, it continues. You can imagine the Milky Way as a place filled with countless streams of light, all crossing, all moving outward. Some streams fade from view because they travel into darkness where no eyes are. Some streams meet dust and become a soft glow. Some streams reach a planet and warm its surface slightly. On one small planet, in one small region, someone can look up and see that glow. Not because the universe is trying to be seen, but because the geometry of space and the patience of light allow that meeting. Light is not personal, yet it can feel like a quiet message, not a message with words, a message with presence, a message that says, there is distance and there is connection. Because light is connection, It is a bridge between places that never touch directly. It carries information. It carries warmth. It carries the shape of where it came from. A star's light can tell you whether the star is hot or cool. A star's light can tell you whether certain elements exist in its outer layers. This happens because light can be spread into colors. A rainbow is a simple version of this idea. When light passes through something that separates it, it becomes a band of colors. Within that band, tiny dark lines can appear. Those lines are caused by atoms and molecules absorbing specific parts of the light. It is a quiet fingerprint, not dramatic, not loud, a calm pattern. From that pattern, people can learn what a star is made of. Hydrogen is common. Helium is common. Other elements appear too: carbon, oxygen, iron, in different amounts. But the details do not need to be heavy. The simple truth is enough. Stars are not made of mystery. They are made of matter that follows simple rules. And those rules repeat across the galaxy. Light, matter, gravity, motion, distance, time. The same quiet set of ideas appearing in different places. The Milky Way, from far away, would look like a soft spiral disk. From inside it, the disk becomes a band across the sky. Both views are true. Both views are gentle. The universe does not require one viewpoint. It holds many at once. Somewhere beyond the Milky Way, other galaxies exist. They are far away. Their light is faint. Sometimes they appear as small smudges in the dark. Not bright, not sharp, just present. Each smudge contains billions of stars. Each one has its own rivers of light, its own dust, its own slow turning. The universe is full of these quiet structures, not packed, not crowded, separated by large spaces that allow light to travel. Those spaces are not wasted. They are the paths. They are what make the gentle connections possible. As this view continues, nothing needs to change. Stars shine. Dust drifts. Galaxies turn. Light moves. The scene does not ask for an ending. It simply continues in the same calm direction, without urgency, without effort, without a final point. And the river of light keeps flowing through the open dark. Beyond the wide river of light, there are regions where space feels thicker, not crowded, not full, only heavier in a gentle way. These regions are made of gas and dust, spread across great distances. They do not look like clouds from Earth. They have no clear edges, no fixed shape. They are more like soft suggestions, places where matter lingers a little longer before drifting on. Hydrogen is common here, very common. It is the simplest element. One proton, one electron, light, easy to move. Hydrogen drifts quietly in space, often alone, sometimes paired. Along with hydrogen, there is helium, also light, also simple. Mixed into these gases are tiny grains of dust. Dust made of carbon, silicates, ice, small pieces, very small. Together, gas and dust form large, loose clouds. These clouds can stretch across distances so large they are hard to imagine. Yet within them, everything moves slowly. Gravity works here, but it whispers. It does not pull sharply. It does not gather quickly. It simply encourages matter to stay near matter. Over very long periods, small differences appear. One part of a cloud becomes slightly denser than another. Just slightly. This difference is enough. Gravity notices. Not suddenly, not strongly. It pulls just a little more on that denser region. Gas begins to drift inward. Dust follows. The movement is so slow it would be invisible in a short time. But time here is wide. As gas gathers, pressure increases. As pressure increases, temperature rises, not to burning heat, only to warmth. This warmth spreads through the region. The cloud does not collapse all at once. It reshapes. It flows inward like thick fog moving downhill. As the center grows warmer and denser, something new begins. At a certain point, the conditions allow a steady glow to appear. Not light escaping violently, not brightness bursting out. A quiet glow, a forming star. At first, the glow is hidden. The surrounding gas and dust absorb much of the light. The star exists, but it is wrapped, protected. The cloud around it acts like a soft barrier. Light struggles to leave, but not in distress. It takes time. Photons, small packets of light, bounce again and again inside the dense region. They scatter. They change direction. Each step forward is small, but forward is forward. Eventually, after many quiet interactions, some light reaches the outer edge of the cloud. It escapes, not as a beam, as a soft presence. From far away, this region may appear as a faint glow within darkness. Many such regions exist. They are often called star-forming regions. But even that name suggests more activity than truly occurs. Nothing rushes, nothing forces. The process is patient. Within one cloud, many stars can begin at once. Not in the same place, not at the same time. Each forms where conditions gently allow. Some regions become clusters, groups of stars, born from the same cloud, sharing similar paths. They may drift together for a while. Later, they may spread out. The galaxy does not insist they stay close. Around a forming star, material often flattens into a disk. This happens because of motion. As gas falls inward, any small sideways movement becomes a slow spin. The spin spreads matter outward into a wide, thin shape, a disk. Within this disk, dust grains meet. They touch. They stick. Not because of glue, but because small forces can hold tiny particles together. This sticking is fragile at first. A gentle bump can separate them. But over time, repeated contact builds larger pieces, pebble-sized, rock-sized. Eventually, some regions may gather enough material to form larger bodies. Planets begin this way. Quietly, without announcement. Many disks never form planets. Many do. The universe allows variety. Some stars grow large, some remain small. The mass of the original cloud matters. How much gas was there? How evenly it gathered? How much energy escaped? Large stars burn their fuel quickly. Small stars burn slowly. But all begin in a similar way. Gathering, warming, glowing. The cloud that formed the star does not disappear. Parts of it drift away. Parts remain. Some may become part of future clouds. Matter moves in cycles, not tight loops, but wide paths. Atoms that were once inside a cloud can later be part of a star. Atoms from that star can later return to space. Nothing holds ownership. The universe shares. As stars form, they begin to affect their surroundings. Their light warms nearby gas. Their energy pushes gently outward, not violently, but enough to shape nearby material. Clouds can be carved into soft shapes, hollows, ridges. Light outlines these forms. From far away, these regions can look like glowing curtains, pillars, or waves, but the shapes are temporary. They change slowly. They dissolve. Nothing stays fixed. In these regions, time feels different. Not faster, not slower, just extended. Processes that seem complex are built from very simple steps. Gather, warm, glow, repeat. The forming star does not know it is forming. The cloud does not plan. Gravity does not decide. Everything follows the same quiet rules. Energy moves from dense places to less dense places. Matter follows paths that minimize effort. The result is structure. Structure without intention. Beauty without design. When the star reaches a steady state, its light becomes more regular. It balances inward pull with outward energy. This balance can last for a very long time. The star now shines openly, its cloud thins, the region becomes clearer. From a distance, this star looks like any other, but its beginning was slow and protected. The universe prefers such beginnings. No sharp starts, no hard edges, only gradual appearance. And as one region settles, others begin. Across the galaxy, in many quiet corners, slow clouds continue their work, forming light, releasing light, letting it travel. The process never stops, it only shifts location. The wide darkness remains open. Within it, new glows appear, old glows continue, and light flows on. No signal marks the moment. No line divides before and after. There is only ongoing formation within a calm, patient universe. A star that has finished forming enters a long, quiet phase. Nothing dramatic happens. The light does not change suddenly. The space around it remains calm. This is the longest part of a star's existence. Inside the star, matter and energy find a balance. Gravity pulls inward. Energy pushes outward. Neither side wins. They hold each other in a steady agreement. This balance is not perfect. It does not need to be. It only needs to last. Deep inside the star, hydrogen atoms meet. Under great pressure, they combine. When they do, a small amount of energy is released. This energy moves outward, not in a straight path, not quickly. It moves by many small steps. It is absorbed, then released again, and again. Each step takes time. The journey from the center of the star to its surface can take a very long while, but there is no waiting. Time here is not counted. Energy moves because movement is allowed. When the energy reaches the surface, it leaves the star as light and warmth. The star shines, not to be seen, not to be noticed. It shines because this is the result of balance. Some stars shine more strongly than others. This depends on their mass. A large star has stronger gravity. To balance that gravity, it must release more energy, so it shines brighter. A smaller star has gentler gravity. It releases energy more slowly. Its light is softer. Neither is better. Each follows what its size allows. Stars do not compare. They do not hurry. They remain in balance for a long stretch of time. Around many stars, objects move in wide paths. These paths are called orbits. An orbit is not a rope that pulls an object around. It is a natural curve. An object moves forward, and gravity bends its path. The result is a loop. The object keeps moving. The star keeps pulling. Together, they create a repeating motion. Orbits can be wide or narrow. They can be nearly circular or slightly stretched. But they are steady. This steadiness creates structure. Planets remain near their stars. Moons remain near planets. Everything moves, but nothing rushes away. Light from the star touches nearby objects. Some of that light is reflected. Some is absorbed. Absorbed energy can warm a surface. Warmed matter can release energy again. This exchange creates gentle patterns. Day and night. Warm and cool. Not sharp changes, gradual shifts. In space farther from the star, the light spreads thinner. It becomes faint, but it does not disappear. Light continues outward, past planets, past dust, into the wide dark. The star does not follow it. The star remains, balanced, stable. This phase can last for most of the star's existence. During this time, the star's size stays similar. Its color stays similar. Its light stays consistent. This consistency allows nearby systems to remain orderly. Nothing needs to adjust quickly. Nothing is surprised. Inside the star, hydrogen slowly becomes less common. It is used, converted. But this happens gradually. There is no sudden lack. As long as balance holds, the star continues its quiet work. Some stars maintain this balance for very long spans. Others, being larger, use their fuel faster. They still do not hurry. They simply follow what their mass allows. Across a galaxy, millions of stars exist in this balanced state. From far away, their combined light creates a steady glow. Galaxies shine not because of sudden events, but because of long balance repeated many times. The Milky Way's gentle brightness comes from countless stars in this calm phase, each one shining steadily, each one holding its own balance. Between these stars, space remains open. Dust drifts, gas lingers, light passes through. Nothing interrupts the flow. Occasionally, a star's balance will change, but not yet, not here. This chapter remains in the long middle, the time of steadiness, the time of quiet light, where nothing needs to happen for everything to continue. The universe values this state. It allows complexity to exist without tension. It allows motion without urgency. It allows light to be dependable. And so the stars continue their steady glow, holding balance, holding space, holding time, without needing a conclusion. Between stars, there is far more space than there is matter. This space is not empty in a simple way. It is open, wide, quiet. It stretches for long distances without interruption. If you were to move through it, nothing would press against you. Nothing would resist. There is no air here, no wind, no sound. Sound needs matter to travel. In open space, there is nothing to carry it. So the space between stars is naturally silent. Not silent because something stopped, but silent because nothing begins. Light moves through this space freely. It does not slow from effort. It does not speed from excitement. It moves at the same pace everywhere. Light passes through the space between stars like a traveler crossing a wide plain. No landmarks, no signs, only distance. Most of the time, light does not meet anything. It travels on without interaction. But sometimes it meets a single atom. One atom, floating alone. When light meets an atom, the atom may absorb a small part of the energy. The atom becomes excited for a moment. Then it releases that energy again. Often the energy is released as light, but not always in the same direction. The result is a tiny redirection, a soft scattering, one small change in a very long journey. This happens many times. Light is patient. It does not mind the long path. The space between stars also holds faint gas, very thin gas, so thin that it would be called empty by everyday standards. Yet this gas is enough to glow faintly when touched by energy. Sometimes a nearby star or a passing shock of energy causes this gas to shine. The glow is weak, but it spreads over a large area. From far away, it can look like a soft veil hanging in the dark. These veils do not stay forever. They drift, they thin. Nothing holds them tightly. Gravity is present here, but it is gentle, so gentle that movement takes a long time. Gas may take millions of years to drift from one place to another. But there is no waiting. Time in the universe is not counted moment by moment. Processes unfold as they unfold. The space between stars is not wasted space. It allows systems to remain stable. It provides room for light to travel. It gives stars space to shine without interference. It separates events so they do not overlap. In a crowded universe, everything would interact constantly. In this wide universe, interactions are selective. This selectivity creates calm. Occasionally, a small object moves through this space. A rock, a grain, a frozen body. These objects follow long paths. They are guided by gravity, but not tightly held. Their journeys are slow. They may pass near a star, change direction slightly, then continue on. Most of the time, they remain unnoticed. The space between stars does not highlight travelers. It absorbs movement without comment. Over long periods, this space can change. A passing wave of energy from a distant event can compress gas slightly. Not enough to form a star, only enough to shift positions. Gas clouds may drift closer together. Dust may gather. The space responds, but it does not react strongly. Everything remains soft. The universe does not rush to fill every gap. It allows gaps to exist. These gaps are not failures. They are features. They are what allow structure to remain gentle. Light crossing these spaces carries information. It carries the signature of where it came from. It also carries marks of what it passed through. A faint absorption here, a slight scatter there. By studying this light, patterns can be understood. But understanding is not required for the process to continue. The light would travel even if no one observed it. The space between stars is full of such unseen journeys. Streams of light moving past each other, paths crossing without collision. Everything fits because there is room. The galaxy depends on this space. Without it, orbits would be unstable. Systems would interfere. Balance would be harder to maintain. Instead, the galaxy spreads out. Stars keep their distance. Light fills the gaps. Time stretches. Nothing presses, nothing demands. The space between stars remains open. It continues to exist as it always has. Quiet, wide, patient, allowing everything else to move without urgency. No balance lasts forever. But in the universe, change arrives slowly. A star that has shone for a long time begins to shift in quiet ways, not suddenly, not with force. Deep inside the star, the supply of hydrogen becomes thinner, not gone, only reduced. The reactions continue, but at a different pace. Energy still moves outward, but the balance begins to adjust. Gravity notices first. With slightly less outward pressure, gravity pulls inward a little more. The center of the star becomes denser, warmer. This warmth does not rush outward. It settles. The outer layers of the star respond gently. They expand, not in a burst, not in a wave. They move outward as if making room. The star grows larger. Its surface cools slightly as it spreads. Its light changes color. It becomes softer, redder, not weaker, just different. This phase can last a long time. The star remains calm. Its light is steady but broader, more diffuse. From a distance, the star looks fuller. Its presence fills more space. Inside, new reactions begin. Helium, formed earlier, now plays a larger role. Under pressure, helium atoms combine. They release energy. Again, not suddenly. The star finds a new balance. This balance is more complex. Several layers may form inside. Each layer hosts different reactions. Each layer contributes to the overall structure. The star becomes layered like a quiet landscape. No sharp borders, only gradual transitions. The outer layers remain extended. Light leaves the surface in a wide spread. The space around the star changes slightly. Nearby gas may warm, dust may shift. Nothing dramatic, just influence. Some stars are small enough to end their changes gently. They may release their outer layers slowly. The material drifts away, forming a thin cloud. This cloud expands. It does not rush. It spreads until it becomes part of space again. At the center, a dense core remains. Small, hot, stable. This core no longer produces energy, but it still holds heat. It cools very slowly. Over vast time, it fades, not disappears, just dims. Other stars are larger. Their changes follow a longer sequence. They form heavier elements inside. Carbon, oxygen, neon. Each new stage requires more pressure, more heat. Each stage lasts less time than the one before. Still, nothing here is fast. The star adjusts again and again. At some point, the balance becomes harder to maintain. The core becomes very dense. The outer layers respond. They may move outward strongly. Material is released into space. This release can be energetic, but from a distance it is still quiet. Light spreads. Matter spreads. Patterns form. The space around the star fills with enriched material. Atoms formed inside the star are now free. They drift into the galaxy. These atoms are not special by origin, but they carry a history. They may later become part of clouds. Those clouds may form new stars. Those stars may form planets. Change leads to continuation. The universe does not close loops tightly. It opens wide paths. Even in transformation, there is no final state, only transition. A star does not resist change. It does not anticipate. It follows what conditions allow. Pressure shifts. Energy responds. Structure adapts. The result is not chaos. It is progression, slow, orderly, calm. From far away, these changes appear subtle. A color shift, a size change, a faint cloud forming nearby. Nothing demands attention. The galaxy absorbs these changes without disturbance. Other stars continue shining. Light continues traveling. Space continues holding everything. Change does not break the universe. It reshapes it. Gently, patiently, without urgency. And when one star completes its long sequence, others remain in balance. Formation continues elsewhere. Light continues everywhere. The universe does not focus on one moment. It allows many states to exist at once. Steady stars, changing stars, forming stars. All together, all calm, all part of a single unbroken flow. Far from any single star, the galaxy reveals its larger shape, not all at once, not clearly, only through slow understanding. A galaxy is not a solid object. It is a pattern of motion. Stars move. Gas drifts. Dust follows gentle paths. Together they form a wide spiral. This spiral does not spin like a wheel. It turns slowly, almost without effort. Each arm of the spiral is a region of slightly higher density. Not packed, not crowded. Just enough to guide motion. Stars within the galaxy follow long, curved paths. These paths are not exact copies. Each star has its own route, but the routes are similar enough to create structure. From a distance, the spiral appears smooth. From within, it is a collection of individual lights spread across space. The spiral arms are not made of the same stars forever. Stars move in and out of them. The arms are more like slow-moving patterns than fixed objects. Gas enters an arm. It becomes denser. New stars may form. Then gas and stars drift onward, leaving the arm behind. The pattern remains, even as the contents change. Light fills these arms, not as a solid glow, but as countless points, blended together. Dust weaves between the light. It creates darker lanes. These lanes do not block the spiral. They shape it. They add depth. The center of the galaxy holds more matter. Stars are closer there. The light is stronger. But even the center is not crowded like a city. There is still space, still distance. The galaxy does not press inward. It balances rotation with gravity. Everything moves, but nothing collapses. Around the galaxy, beyond the spiral arms, there is more. A wide halo of stars. Thin gas. Dark matter, which does not shine, but still influences motion. Dark matter does not interact with light. It does not reflect. It does not absorb. But its gravity shapes the galaxy. It holds the spiral together. Without it, stars would drift away. This unseen structure adds stability, not by force, but by presence. Galaxies often exist near other galaxies. They are not isolated points. They gather in groups, clusters, superclusters. Each group moves slowly through even larger space. The distances between galaxies are vast, much larger than the distances between stars. Light traveling between galaxies crosses immense emptiness, yet it still arrives. Galaxies can influence each other. Their gravity reaches far. They may pass nearby. Their shapes can stretch slightly. Gas can shift. But these interactions are slow. They unfold over long periods. Nothing snaps. Nothing collides suddenly. Two galaxies may take hundreds of millions of years to pass each other. Their stars rarely meet. Space is wide enough to allow graceful motion. Sometimes galaxies merge, not in an instant. Over a long dance, their stars interweave. Their gas clouds mix. New patterns form. Spiral shapes may fade. Elliptical shapes may appear. The result is not destruction. It is reorganization. Light continues. Stars continue. The galaxy grows older, but not tired. It adapts. Across the universe, many galaxies exist in different stages. Some are bright and active. Some are calm. Some are rich in gas. Some are quiet, with little new formation. All of them follow the same simple rules. Gravity shapes motion, energy flows, matter responds. From very far away, the universe appears uniform. Galaxies spread evenly. No center is favored. No direction is special. This evenness is part of the universe's calm. It does not rush toward an edge. It does not gather toward a point. It expands slowly. Space itself stretches. Distances grow. Light traveling now will travel farther tomorrow. Not because it speeds up, but because space opens. This expansion is gentle. It does not tear structures apart. Galaxies remain intact. Stars remain bound. Only the large distances grow. This growth does not demand attention. It continues quietly. The spiral of light is part of a larger openness. It exists within expansion, not against it. From within a galaxy, the spiral is a suggestion. From far away, it is a shape. Both views are true. Neither is complete. The universe allows partial understanding. It does not require a single perspective. Light from many stars combines in the spiral. It moves outward. Some of it leaves the galaxy. It travels into intergalactic space. It may cross nothing for a very long time. Eventually, it may reach another galaxy, or it may continue without meeting anything. Both outcomes are acceptable. Light does not choose. It flows. The spiral remains. Turning slowly, holding its form through motion. A wide structure made from patience. A shape that exists because everything moves just enough and no more. And within this spiral, countless quiet processes continue. Formation, balance, change, all together, all unhurried, all held within a wide, gentle pattern of light. Beyond the spiral arms, beyond the dense center, the galaxy fades gently, not into nothing, but into openness. Stars become fewer. The glow thins. Light still travels, but it spreads wider now, less guided by structure. This outer region has no clear boundary. There is no line where the galaxy ends. Matter becomes sparse. Distances grow, yet gravity still reaches here, softly. It holds the outer stars in long, slow paths. These stars move carefully, taking wide arcs around the center. Their motion is steady, unchanging. They do not rush inward. They do not drift away. They remain held by a balance that stretches across space. Beyond this, the space between galaxies opens. This space is larger than anything within a galaxy, so large that even light takes a long time to cross it. Here, matter is rare. A single atom may drift alone for ages. There is no sound, no resistance, only motion through openness. Light from the galaxy enters this space. It carries the combined glow of billions of stars. But as it travels, that glow spreads thinner. The light does not weaken. It simply covers more space. Its edges blur. Eventually, it is no longer a beam, no longer a glow. It becomes part of the background, a faint presence woven into the universe itself. This background light exists everywhere. It comes from many sources: stars, galaxies, early times. It fills space evenly, not bright, not dark, a soft baseline. The universe is filled with such baselines. Temperatures, energies, fields, they do not demand notice. They simply exist as conditions. Space itself has structure, not walls, not surfaces, but properties. It can stretch, it can curve, it can expand. This expansion is not an explosion. It is not a push. It is a quiet opening. Distances grow because space grows. Galaxies move apart without moving through space. The space between them becomes larger. Light traveling through this space experiences the change. Its wavelength stretches, its color shifts slightly. This is not damage, it is adaptation. Light responds to the shape of space. Everything does over vast time. This stretching continues. The universe becomes wider. Structures remain, but farther apart. Nothing collapses inward on a universal scale. Nothing pulls everything together. The balance favors openness. Within this openness, local structures still exist. Stars form, galaxies turn, clusters gather. Small regions follow their own gentle rules. The universe allows this layering. Large-scale calm, small-scale activity. Neither interrupts the other. Light connects all layers. It moves from small to large, from dense to open, from bright to faint. It does not end. It does not stop. It simply becomes less defined. In very distant space, light from many galaxies overlaps. No single source can be separated. The result is a soft glow with no direction, no origin, just presence. This light has no edges. It does not begin here or end there. It exists everywhere at once. The universe does not frame itself. It does not present a picture. It allows scenes to arise naturally. Some are detailed, some are vague, all are valid. In this wide openness, nothing is required. No outcome is expected. Processes continue because conditions allow them. Stars do not ask how long they will shine. Galaxies do not ask where they are going. Light does not ask where it will arrive. Everything follows simple relations. Energy moves from where it is dense to where it is not. Matter responds to gravity. Space opens. Time flows without reference. There is no final state toward which everything moves. Only ongoing change within stability. Only movement within calm. The universe does not conclude. It does not reach a final form. It continues to widen, to soften, to allow. Light spreads until it is everywhere. Not bright, not dark, just present. Without edges, without urgency, without a final point. And within this wide presence, everything that exists has room to continue.